Jonesy
and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Dr. Karl is in the studio and he's taking your questions. If you've got a question, you could have contacted us via our social medias.
Yes, our social medias.
Our social medias.
Any burning questions. But if this is medical and you're burning, I'd maybe go to see your doctor
Consult
about
your
that.
doctor.
Here's one from Michaela, Dr. Karl. And this is every parent's lament. What uses more power, leaving your lights on for a few hours or turning them on and off constantly?
You're better off turning them on and off. People used to say that if you turn it on, in that 1/10 of a second turning it on, it uses as much power as running it for 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes is 300 seconds, and so we're talking 1/10 of a second, so that's 3,000. You're trying to say that in 1/10 of a second, it uses as much power in switching on as running it for 3,000 seconds. Well, that's impossible because if it's drawing 10 watts, 3,000 times that is 30,000 watts, and you would blow the lights in your suburb.
Right.
So it's a myth, and switch them on and off to save electricity.
Okay.
We could have done that maths, Brendan.
We could have. Mark has written, why haven't we gone back to the moon again?
Because we were too busy having a war in Vietnam.
Okay.
We are heading back towards the moon again. We have got photographs of the things on the moon. Okay, now for the real conspiracy theory. Okay, I'll admit it to you. Okay, it was, in fact, too expensive to send astronauts to the moon because astronauts need a lot of training. So we sent actors and we shot on the moon because it was cheaper to employ actors. We wanted to look real. But, okay, that's a lie.
Good.
Is it right?
Good.
We did go to the moon. I don't understand why people say that. Like, I have a colleague who's gradually gone down a rabbit hole, and they told me that in one conversation that Princess Diana was assassinated by the British royal family, and then later in the conversation, she's still alive.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But that person believes both things. And so, and with regard to flat earthers, 4% of the American population are flat earthers, and what they believe is that those lights in the heaven, those stars and planets and the sun and the moon, they're not actually physical objects. The term they use is luminaries. In other words, God put those lights up there. And yes, they ask you to believe that all the astronomers over the last 4 centuries have been in the pay of Big Globe. He wants you to buy globes because there's nothing for them to see. And so when the astronomers make all these papers, they've been bought off. It's all a con.
Big Globe, I love it. And one more here. This is from Shannon. Oh, no, from Nicola. And I'd like to know this because I take fish oil because I've got bad joints and things. Do fish oil and krill oil, do supplements work for arthritis and for joints?
Yes and no, and probably no. So I'll give an example of a drug that is used for back pain sometimes. It's amitriptyline. You've got 3 possible reactions. 1, it makes you really drowsy on the day you take it, and then you're drowsy for the next couple of days, and your brain is all fuzzy, and you ring up the doctor and say, why'd you give me this crap? Or you get absolutely no result, and you mention the doctor did nothing, or the pain goes away in a small percentage of people. Same drug, different people. Right. So we have different DNA. So overwhelmingly, you get what you need from your diet, providing you've got a balanced diet. And I would recommend Professor Claire Collins. Follow her, Claire, C-L-A-R-E Collins. She's got a lot of articles about this, and she's my go-to person on dietetics. So overwhelmingly, it will do nothing for your joints. But if it turns out that you're that person for whom it does, and it's not too expensive, oh my God, lack of pain is just a wonderful thing.
And that's the thing.
So if you're lucky.
And on those sort of alternate medications, Elle Macpherson, she's getting a bit of flack about her holistic response.
It worked for her, and is it fair that she's written a book saying so? How will people react to that?
Okay, so I'm reckoning that you're here more than 20 days a month. Do you have coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, so how about 1 in every 20 cups of coffee will kill you? Would you? So there's somebody there who's putting poison in, and over the course of a month, one of those cups has got a poison in. Would you drink coffee for that month?
No.
Okay, so she had a cancer of the type where it is entirely contained, and 95% of the time it stays contained, and she had an operation, which is not highly mentioned. It's called a lumpectomy, so they just go to that thing and they take it out, and they do not go to the margins, and they do not, in her case, because she didn't want it, give the drugs for that 5%. So she chose to go in a lottery where she had a 1 in 20 chance of having bad things happen. And luckily, the 19 out of 20 worked in her favour.
Right.
And she was lucky. And I'm so glad that it paid out well for her. But ask yourself this, if 1 in 20 cups of coffee was poisoned, would you drink coffee? No. So she went into a lottery and she came out well. Not everybody will. 19 will, 1 will die. If that's your family member, you say, oh, why don't you take the extra medical treatment? And is she responsible for people not taking that treatment? I don't know. Suppose I go into a movie theatre in the dark and I open my mouth and I yell out the word, fire! And then there's a trampling and then people die. Am I responsible by putting that word out into the audience for the death of that person who died in the trampling?
What's the answer? Are you?
I'm not a philosopher, but I think I would be to some degree. That's why. So the reason I was working at the kids' hospital, and after 20 years of virtually zero deaths from whooping cough, a current affair on Channel 9 started saying, "Oh, vaccines don't work," because it gave them more ratings. And then we started seeing deaths for the first time from whooping cough after 20 years. And I was in the kids' hospital when these deaths were happening, and that's why I left medicine. The best job I ever had my entire life was being a doctor in the kids' hospital, and I left that to go out in the media and say, get vaccinated, because I could do more good. And it was heartbreaking because I had so much satisfaction from dealing with families one at a time and making them better, but I could do more in the community. So,
Thank goodness for you, Dr. Karl.
Oh,
I've got
Doctor,
goosebumps
man.
every time I talk to you, quite seriously.
And Amanda's always got a stray ferret she can put down her pants to get the band back together.
Lift the tone, darling.
Dr. Karl, it's always great to talk to you. You can join him on stage talking about his new memoir. Well, you're on stage. People don't just join you on stage. It's at orpheum.com.
The Orpheum Theatre, which is brilliant.
.com.au, or buy his memoir now at all good bookstores. Dr. Karl, thank you.
Thank you so much. I love working with you guys.
It was lovely. Nice to see you.